When do we beat Mexico at the border? They're laughing at us, at our stupidity. And now they're beating us economically. They are not our friend. And these are the best and the finest. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems.
But Jeffrey, see, there is provocation going on, but I think you're talking about it from a different side. I mean, let me just pull up for you one of the reporters, Katie Tur from NBC. She sent out this tweet about what happened last night. She says, Trump trashes press, crowd jeers, guy by press pen looks at us and screams, you B-word, right, basically. Right. Other gentleman, hold on, other gentleman gives cameras the double bird. I mean, this is really counterproductive. Isn't this dangerous on some level?
A Midlands presidential campaign veteran says presidential candidate Donald Trump really may have gone too far this time.
Trump is refusing to back down from his proposal that America keep terrorists out by temporarily not letting Muslims into the country. Or is this one finally too much? Jack Kenzie's in our newsroom. Jack?
Charles and Gandhi, Donald Trump has outraged before. Based on his track record, he will probably outrage again. But his proposal to ban Muslims from entering the country seems to have touched a particularly raw nerve among establishment Republicans, including some of his challengers for the Republican presidential nomination. So says former CNN correspondent and current USC Information Communications Dean Charles Bierbauer. He says Trump may be managing to drown out almost everyone else seeking the GOP nomination for president, but it's hard to ignore the wide-ranging condemnation of this particular Trump theme by everyone from Lindsey Graham to Governor Nikki Haley to former Vice President Dick Cheney, not to mention the White House and Democratic candidates.
During Donald Trump's rally in Richmond, Virginia, apparently there were a number of protesters who were not in favor of Trump's immigration policy. But as they were protesting, it turns out that some of Trump's supporters got into a little bit of a physical altercation with them. Take a look.
What's that?
We're gonna take this country. You guys will be shit out of luck.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because we don't have a lot of patience for hippies and the gutter snipes of society. The people that
it'll be Kent State 2016 and Trump's elected.
You mean that you'll shoot me?
No, we would never do that.
Well, are you not referring to the Kent State shooting?
Take it as a wish.
That's a death threat. I'm going to get your license plate and call you in.
RNC put out a YouTube ad, and it has African-American Republicans touting the GOP. Maybe we can show you that. I don't know. We had it before, but we do. So we're going to show you this. This is what the RNC put out right after this whole hullabaloo with David Duke and Donald Trump, and then Donald Trump throwing those Valdosta University students out of his rally yesterday, even though they weren't protesting anything and they were African American. What do you make of this?
Well, Donald Trump doesn't know every aspect of the Constitution. This is a man who's running for president. If he doesn't know about the Ku Klux Klan, if he doesn't know about white supremacy and David Duke, if he doesn't know every aspect of the Constitution, ding, ding, ding. That should be red flag.
We have a big problem at this point now, because I agree with you about a lot. I think that we have taken him not seriously. We have not respected his voters, but there is a dark underside here. And Essie is right. He is whipping up and tapping into and pushing buttons that are very, very frightening to me and frightening to a lot of people. Number one, when he is playing funny with the Klan, that is not cool.
He didn't play funny.
Hold on a second. I know this man when he gets passionate about terrorism. I know how he talks about terrorism. The Klan is a terrorist organization that has killed
a leftist terrorist organization.
You can put whatever label you want. That's your game to play.
No, that's your game to play.
No, they're not. We're not going to play that game.
No,
we're not going to play that game.
We are going to understand history.
No. You need to take a serious look at the fact that this man is playing fast and loose and footsie. When you talk about terrorism, he gets passionate. He says, no, this is wrong. But when you talk about the Klan, I don't know.
And Van, what you're doing right here, what you're doing here is dividing people. We're all Americans here, Van. You are dividing people. This is what liberals do. You are dividing people by race.
I am not.
This is what liberalism is all about.
The Klan divides people by race.
You have to divide by race.
The Klan killed people by race, and he had the opportunity, and he didn't do it tonight.
They did it to further the progressive agenda.
All right, we are also getting some rather disturbing video in from the same rally. It apparently shows a news photographer getting roughed up. The photographer says he was trying to film some of those protesters, that's him on the ground, when a Secret Service agent, quote, grabbed me by the neck and started choking me, then he slammed me to the ground, unquote. So far, no comment from the Secret Service.
So you're just trying to go and cover the protest, and
I stepped 18 inches out of the pen, and he grabbed me by the neck and started choking me, and then he slammed me to the ground.
we can tell you at this point, the Secret Service has not commented on this incident. We do expect to have that comment at some point this afternoon. The Donald Trump campaign did put out a statement saying there was an incident involving a photographer and a U.S. Secret Service agent at today's Radford University Trump rally. We are not aware of all details surrounding the incident, and all future inquiries should be directed to local law enforcement. So the Donald Trump campaign not having a whole lot to say about.
This is the kind of moment where we should be having a serious debate about the policies needed to restore the American idea. Instead, the conversation over the last few days has been about white supremacist groups. As you know, I try to stay out of the day-to-day ups and downs of the primary. But I've also said when I see something that runs counter to who we are as a party and as a country, I will speak up. So today I want to be very clear about something. If a person wants to be the nominee of the Republican Party, there can be no evasion and no games. They must reject any group or cause that is built on bigotry. This party does not prey on people's prejudices. We appeal to their highest ideals. This is the party of Lincoln. We believe all people are created equal in the eyes of God and our government. This is fundamental. And if someone wants to be our nominee, they must understand this. I hope this is the last time I need to speak out on this race.
And then at the end we find out, I couldn't really make out what Beyonce was saying, but in the end we find out that Beyonce dressed up in a tribute to the Black Panthers, went to a Malcolm X formation, and the song, the lyrics, which I couldn't make out a syllable, were basically telling cops to stop shooting blacks.
And I gotta be honest with you, I had no idea when this was going on. Yeah.
She performed her single formation, which has become a rallying cry for the Black Lives Matter movement. We're going to talk a little bit about that.
Beyonce got a police escort there, and then she gives a salute to the Black Lives Matter movement. Dre McKesson tweeted out, #formation, shoutouts to Malcolm X and MJ were excellent. It was a nod to 1966 founding of the Black Panther Party. What did you think of that?
I think it's outrageous.
There's one more thing I want to ask you about. Beyonce put out a new music video called Formation, and it has been interpreted to be pro Black Lives Matter and potentially looking at issues inside New Orleans as well. How did you, there are some sheriffs that reacted poorly to that. They didn't like it. They turned their backs to Beyonce during the Super Bowl halftime show. What was your thought on the matter?
Them coming out, Beyonce, in those Black Panther type uniforms, would that be acceptable if a white band came out in hoods and white sheets in the same sort of fashion? We would be appalled and outraged.
Man, I counted at least 15 black people on that montage. Hey! Well, I'm here at the Academy Awards, otherwise known as the White People's Choice Awards. You realize if they nominated host, I wouldn't even get this job. So y'all be watching Neil Patrick Harris right now. But here's the crazy thing. This is the wildest, craziest Oscars to ever host because we got all this controversy. No black nominees, you know? And people are like, Chris, you should boycott. Chris, you should quit. We protesting. That's the big question. Why this Oscars? Why this Oscars, you know? It's the 88th Academy Awards. It's the 88th Academy Awards, which means this whole no black nominees thing has happened at least 71 other times. And we got real things to protest. You know, we're too busy being raped and lynched to care about who won Best Cinematographer. You know, when your grandmother's swinging from a tree, it's really hard to care about Best Documentary Foreign Short.